Once upon a time, in the dark days of World War II, there existed a horrifying place known as Mauthausen concentration camp. This harrowing story follows the plight of a group of Spanish political prisoners, about 7,000 brave souls, who were sent to this camp by the Germans. Life in Mauthausen was a living nightmare for these prisoners, especially for those who were forced to work in the quarries under slave labor conditions. The majority of them toiled endlessly, their lives slowly slipping away, until only a few fortunate ones were given administrative jobs within the camp. Amidst this heart-wrenching backdrop, we encounter a young boy named Anselmo, whose world is shattered when he witnesses his father being taken away to an uncertain fate. Anselmo's innocent heart seeks answers and comfort, leading him to an encounter with Francesco Bosch, a resilient Spanish communist who has become a skillful assistant to the camp's chief photographer, Paul Ricken. Paul, a man obsessed with photography, captures the cruel realities of camp life, but instead of showing the truth, he uses these pictures for Nazi propaganda, disguising the atrocities committed within Mauthausen as just punishment for criminals. Francesco, secretly troubled by the horrors he witnesses, finds solace in photography and uses his skill to preserve evidence of the camp's atrocities. Alongside his fellow communist prisoners, he endeavors to hide and distribute the damning negatives, hoping that someday the world will learn the truth about the unspeakable crimes committed by the Nazis. As the war approaches its end, tensions rise within the camp, and the prisoners are on edge, fearing for their lives. Francesco and his comrades must carefully navigate the dangers posed by the sadistic guards and the ever-watchful eyes of the Nazi officials. In a daring and risky attempt to expose the truth, the prisoners stage a play as a distraction, allowing Francesco to covertly retrieve the hidden negatives and attempt to smuggle them out of the camp. However, not all goes as planned, and tragedy strikes when one of their own is caught, and a public execution takes place. Despite facing unimaginable horrors and witnessing the death of many of his friends, Francesco remains determined to carry out his mission. He fights against the oppressive regime, trying to ensure that the damning evidence reaches the outside world, where justice might someday be served. As the Allies close in on Mauthausen, the prisoner seize a moment of freedom and rebellion, tearing down the camp that once held them captive. Francesco, now free, returns to Anselmo and his caretaker, hoping that the preserved negatives will one day bear witness to the crimes committed within those walls. And so, the story of Mauthausen concentration camp, filled with bravery, resilience, and the pursuit of truth, ends on a note of hope and the promise that the sacrifices made within those cruel walls will not be forgotten. In the aftermath of the war, the world began to learn about the atrocities committed in the concentration camps, including Mauthausen. The evidence provided by the hidden negatives, combined with the testimonies of survivors, served as a haunting reminder of the darkest chapter in human history. The brave actions of Francesco Bosch and his fellow prisoners didn't go unnoticed. Their determination to preserve and expose the truth, even in the face of unimaginable suffering, earned them a place in history as heroes who fought against the forces of evil. As the world came to terms with the magnitude of the Holocaust, the international community united to ensure that such horrors would never be repeated. The Nuremberg trials brought some of the Nazi war criminals to justice, holding them accountable for their heinous crimes. Anselmo, the young boy who had witnessed the nightmare of Mauthausen, grew into a strong and resilient young man. The memory of his father and the sacrifices of the prisoners remain with him, fueling his determination to stand against injustice and promote peace. Francesco Bosch became an iconic figure, his story inspiring countless others to confront the truth and seek justice for the victims of the Holocaust. His photographs, once used for Nazi propaganda, were now powerful symbols of resilience and the pursuit of justice. In the years that followed, memorial sites were established to honor the memories of those who lost their lives in the concentration camps. The legacy of Mauthausen, as a symbol of human suffering and the triumph of the human spirit, served as a solemn reminder of the importance of never forgetting the past. Anselmo, now an advocate for human rights and reconciliation, continued to share his story, ensuring that the lessons of history were passed down to future generations. He traveled the world, speaking at schools, universities, and commemorative events, urging people to stand up against hatred, discrimination, and intolerance. The courage and resilience of the prisoners of Mauthausen touched the hearts of people worldwide, inspiring a collective commitment to building a more compassionate and just society. The world vowed to learn from the past, to protect human rights, and to stand together against any form of oppression. As the years passed, the memory of Mauthausen lived on in the pages of history books, the halls of museums, and the hearts of those who cherished freedom and peace. The once stark and haunting tale of the concentration camp had transformed into a powerful beacon of hope, reminding us of the indomitable spirit of humanity in the face of darkness. And so, the story of Mauthausen concentration camp, with its tragedy and heroism, remains etched in the annals of history as a reminder of the strength of the human spirit, the importance of remembrance, and the necessity of creating a world where such horrors can never occur again. May we never forget, and may we strive to build a world of peace, tolerance, and understanding for generations to come.
Yeah, you know the game. It's Shade. What's up? Let's go. Let's go. You know the name.
You know the name.
You know the name.
You know the game.
You know the game. It's not about the name, by the way, it's Shade. If you wonder who's about to get the fame, nobody knows when we started, but we top-notch skills, yeah, we got it. You know who's the winner, but look at you like a winner. With your girl, my thing is clear. Why the rap is so dirty that they call me a sinner. The king is speaking and these people are listening. What I'm about to say is heavy, car named Chevy. Killing with the rapper is a cake with the cherry.
Cherry, cherry, cherry.
Rap is all I do, you don't know what we gone through. These skills are not earned overnight. You're gonna get paid for the price of time. Show your back to the ground, learn the skills first and run around. Life is hard and easy it sounds.